and welcome back to another episode. What am I titling it? We're going to dub it the Save Point Vids Presents the Definitive Top 10. That's a new title. Last week we did Top 10 RPGs, so if you haven't checked that out, go over to youtube.com/SavePointVids. We give you our individual top 10 lists, and then we kind of combine it through a scoring system into the definitive top 10. This week is going to be all about first-person shooters. Before we get into that, though, again, check us out, youtube.com/SavePointVids. Follow us on all the major podcast platforms. And if you haven't already, with your podcast platform of choice, subscribe to the feed. Just search the Save Point Vids podcast. That's SoundCloud, Google, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts. There are a couple others I can't remember. But all right, guys, let's jump right into it. For those that didn't watch the other episode, I guess I should explain the rules. We're going to offer our top 10 first-person shooters. These are not the top 10 highest rated on Metacritic. It's our personal top 10 list. And then again, through a scoring system, we will combine it into an ultimate list. Basically, 10th place on the list will be worth 1 point. Works all the way up to the first game on your list as your number 1 will be worth 10 points. If there happens to be any overlap in our list, we'll combine those point totals, and that's how we make the definitive list. So without further ado, let's get started. Who wants to go first? All right,
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
My number 10, I have Left 4 Dead 2.
Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah,
Did we played that together, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's a good co-op game.
that's pretty much the only way you can play it, right? It's co-op.
I mean, like, yeah,
You
like
can't-
online.
Can you do online on? Could you do online in Left 4 Dead 2? I don't remember. But anyways, that's the only way we ever played it was co-op. Maybe some games online, but I don't really remember. Pretty much, it's you just try to survive waves of zombies as you get to like an extraction point, don't you? Or is it just waves? I can't really
I
remember.
think there is a point A to point B.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, so you're basically going through a level or a stage, and you have to get to like the safe house at the other end. I don't know if that's every case, but from what I remember, that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, each person has like a different, not ability, but like a different class.
Yeah, there's like a healer guy.
Yeah, the different weapon classes and things like that. So, you know, you have to find like the best suited. I think it was 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you could play with less than 4 or if it was just like an AI controlled character.
Could.
Was it?
Yeah, it might have been AI, actually.
I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I don't know if it was you had to have 4, and if you didn't have enough people, that was just like a computer controlled partner. But yeah, that's a good game.
yeah.
It was like the first game. Well, the first game, I guess, in the series was like it was like the first one that had that like horde mechanic. You know what I mean? Like how it is like in like World War Z or like
Right.
obviously it's not
Even in,
sophisticated, but
Even in like I feel like after Left 4 Dead they added a similar like game mode in Gears too. It was like a horde mode where you're just you're trying to fight off these like I guess they're locusts or something. But
Right.
yeah, I think it really popularized that.
yeah. I meant like more like the actual like tech of it, where you just had
Right,
like
the
waves
multiple
of like
enemies,
zombies.
or like right. I mean that was. I mean you still
which was
see
really
that.
cool. At
You
the
still
time.
see that now. What was Days Gone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just came
that,
out.
but just like a
Right.
low tech version of it, I guess.
Right.
And I mean it's not that much different than the first one, but I just remember that it did everything just a little better.
Yeah, we played it a lot more.
All right, Sean, what's your number 10?
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I
Which
mean,
was the game that really got me into like the playing online.
I mean, that was the game that... I mean, Call of Duty had been around before then, but
Yeah,
it really
I
wasn't.
played online with Call of Duty 3, and I played like Call of Duty 2, like the campaign and stuff.
Right.
But like the progression system, unlocking weapons and attachments, and
Yeah,
like,
that was.
emblems and like whatever else you could unlock.
it
just
set
by leveling up
the
online.
format that Call of Duty
I mean,
and
still
a lot of
really
other
follows, yeah.
first-person shooters still
Yeah,
use today.
and like every first-person shooter is pretty much copied how they did it from then on.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely my number 10.
All right. My number 10 first-person shooter of all time is Killzone 3.
I liked Killzone 3.
I don't know if I ever played Killzone 3. I remember playing Killzone 2.
So Killzone 2 had the
I
infamous
played Killzone 2.
CG trailer that they
Oh,
tried
wait,
to pass
no.
off. That was
Okay.
the infamous CG trailer that they tried to pass off as
Actual gameplay.
like actual
Yeah.
gameplay when it should have been like a PS5 game.
Yeah.
The way
Killzone
it
2
looked.
was the one I played, not Killzone 3.
So the reason I like 3 over 2 is that it introduced the actual mechanics were, if you remember Killzone 2, it was very slow. When you're
It was
when you're playing
sluggish.
when you're playing like a Call of Duty game, it's very twitch, it's very fast. There was definitely a weight to the character movement and then the weapons.
I kind of liked that. It was like unique.
It was
to
different.
Killzone,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it made it its own. I think that a lot of people, myself included, didn't really like it, and that's why they changed it. Because the third one, it wasn't as fast as Call of Duty, but it was a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But on top of that, the story was, so-so. But what really got me was the multiplayer. It was the first game that I remember playing on the PS3. I don't know if it came before or after Call of Duty. It was one that I remember, though, putting a lot of time into. Dozens and dozens of hours. I probably put over 50 or 60 hours just into the multiplayer. But yeah, it was good. It was very underrated. It might have been around the same time as one of the Call of Duties. So it was most likely it was overshadowed by those games.
Probably.
But it definitely had a hardcore, dedicated fan base. And
I'd like to see him bring back Killzone.
Yeah.
They had the
There's
most
a lot of potential and like
Mm-hmm.
and like Guerrilla Games is really a really good developer.
Yeah.
So
Well, they got.
if they ever
Well,
go back
I mean,
to it,
they might. There was a rumor. Well, actually, I think the rumor is that they're doing Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
probably that was a big seller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I mean, if they split off into 2 teams, there's no reason necessarily why they couldn't,
yeah.
do that. All right, what's your number 9, Chase?
My number 9 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty much like Modern Warfare 1,
But
but like any
everything's
other
better.
like early Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Then
hey,
it was
go ahead.
they went back to the modern aspect after doing World at War, which I
liked
enjoyed.
World at War.
I liked World at War, but people would get in tanks and vehicles in World at War and they could just dominate.
That's what
And,
I
yeah.
did. I just got into the tank and like I'd rack up like 80, 90 kills a game.
And then of course I love the campaign for Modern Warfare 2. It's probably my favorite campaign out of any
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Had
No
the,
Russian.
Yeah, the airport, the
Yeah.
infamous airport where you mow down everybody.
Right.
And they like jacked up the multiplayer. Like they put like I don't know how many kill streaks or score streaks, but they like added they doubled the amount or whatever from like the first one. No, the first one only had
I think it just had the 3.
yeah. So they had like 15 or something like that, and then
And then Modern Warfare 2 was the first one to have dogs, I think. The dogs
the
kill
attack
streak.
dogs, yeah.
I missed
did they?
those.
I don't think
Yeah.
I ever even got. I wasn't that good back then. Where
And
like
then,
I could get like high kill
It
streaks.
has one of my, if not my all-time favorite map ever in Terminal.
Terminal is the best map ever, in my opinion.
That is a good map.
So
It's a good map.
that's why it's my
That's a good
number
map.
9.
All right, Sean, what's your number 9?
No, Halo 1.
Halo 1.
Yeah. I think
Combat
that was
Evolved.
I forget what I was saying in the last episode about system sellers, but I know Halo is the reason that we bought an Xbox originally.
I feel
That's
like
the reason-
Halo's the reason Xbox is still around.
Right. Yeah, that's the reason Xbox is even a thing, is Halo.
I mean, it really, because you got to think, that was the first game on console, the first-person shooter on console that really did the twin-stick controls.
Was it?
It was.
Yeah, I guess so.
Twin-stick controls on consoles weren't a
And
thing.
they did it so good.
Mhm.
It
That
was-
game felt so good.
It wasn't a thing before.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you got games like it didn't have twin sticks, but you had things like GoldenEye where you had to use the face buttons
Right.
Yeah.
to strafe and look up and down.
Yeah.
And yeah, before then, it was like shooters. Before then, aped that style
Mhm.
until Bungie figured out like how to
Integrate it.
Yeah, how to integrate
Yeah.
it, and then
It
obviously
seems so like duh.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I guess back then it was pretty revolutionary.
So
And like, yeah, the campaign was epic. It was like the first time like it was like really open areas because you could drive around your like Warthog and stuff.
right.
And then
The couch co-op mode.
the couch co-op, bringing your we're old,
You
bringing
know,
your Xbox over to like your friend's house.
linking multiple Xboxes.
Your LAN parties.
Yeah, your LAN parties to play Halo 1. So that's
those
really
were the
good
days.
memories.
I remember doing that too.
Yeah.
All right, my number 9 might be a little controversial. It's Metroid Prime, the original. It might be controversial because a lot of people, depending on who you talk to, don't actually consider it a shooter. They think it's more of a first-person like adventure
Platformer.
game. Yeah, platform adventure game. My argument to that is if you're shooting stuff in
I
first
was
person,
about to say, I'm sure
like,
things.
like it works. I remember getting this on GameCube and plowing through this game.
It was too hard.
Yeah, I was too young. I didn't understand the concept of having to backtrack to move forward, and so I got stuck very early on.
It was one of those games like I remember playing the original Metroid on NES. You know, I was probably 5 or 6. That game was too hard. I even remember who was it? I don't know if it was Uncle Joe. Maybe Rob or Ryan. Somebody had Super Metroid. I remember playing it at Grandma's house, and but I didn't get too far into that. I don't think we ever owned it on SNES ourselves. So my point is that at that time, my exposure to Metroid wasn't like super great. So I can't. You know, people will say that it basically, if you had to perfectly imagine what a 2D Metroid game would be in 3D, that's Metroid Prime.
That would be it, yeah.
I didn't really have that experience because I didn't play the other ones too extensively. But with that said, it was very atmospheric. It was very creepy. It was hard. There was a lot of environmental puzzles. And once you kind of got into the groove, you saw there was like a platform up there that you couldn't quite reach yet. And so, you had to wait, sometimes hours and hours after you originally saw it. And then you'd have to remember that you had, like, the double jump or that you could, climb the wall. But, it was a different kind of shooter than, obviously, like a Call of Duty.
It was too complicated for me.
But, yeah, I didn't really... I played the second one. I didn't play the third one. I think the third one was on Wii. Or maybe that was the third...
Metroid Prime 3 Echoes, that was a Wii game, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe that's the one I played. Maybe I didn't play the second one. There's one of the 3 that I didn't play.
Could be wrong.
But anyway, so, I kind of fell out of it at that point. But I really, really, really remember loving that game and just, getting through it as quickly as possible. All right, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Halo, the first Halo.
Oh, well, we just talked about it, so...
Yes, we did.
You know what else was really good in that game? The AI, like enemy AI. It's really good for that time. Yeah, just throwing that out there.
All right, what's your number 8?
Perfect Dark N64. That was a rare game. That was the follow-up to GoldenEye. And it pretty much took... I mean, it's not based on any kind of intellectual property. But it pretty much took whatever they did in GoldenEye and ramped it up.
The format of
GoldenEye.
the
format. That was another one that we always would play together.
One of the things I loved about Perfect Dark over GoldenEye was in the multiplayer, you could have bots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could have, if you remember, you had to have the expansion pack, though. Do you remember that? That was the first game on N64. Do you remember that little slot at the front of the N64 that nobody ever used? It was just there for like years until Rare made a game. And Donkey Kong, actually, I think, used it first. But yeah, if you wanted to play with like extra bots in the map, you had to have the expansion pack. Or it would cut off like certain options within the multiplayer settings.
Yeah.
And it had one of the most OP guns in first-person shooter history.
Is it the X-ray sniper?
Yeah.
The X-ray sniper.
You could shoot
beast.
people. It was a one-shot kill. You could shoot people through multiple walls.
Yeah, that was. I remember the weapon. I remember that one. The weapon I remember the most was the laptop gun, where you could attach it to walls.
Yeah.
You could. So
it was like a mini turret.
Yeah,
pretty much.
exactly. You could just attach it to like a high point on the top of the wall, and then anybody that walks around the corner, they get gunned down.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many dozens of hours.
Yeah, that's all we used to play.
And that was when split screen was still. I mean, that was the
only way
way
you could play with other people.
Man, good stuff. Good times. My number 8 is actually a new game. It's the newest game on my list. It's Apex Legends. I don't know exactly what it is about this game, because there are other games that did Battle Royale before it. I played a little bit of PUBG. Obviously, that's not a first-person shooter, but even, Fortnite, I played for a little bit, fell out of it. Black Ops 4 with Blackout, I had it, didn't really click for me. I played it a little bit, tried to get into it. I just couldn't do it. For some reason, I don't know if it's the powers or the fact that it's over the top. The movement and everything just feels super tight. It's very fast-paced. It's a good game. It's a great game. And I'm having so much fun with it. I'm excited to kind of see. I really hope that Respawn supports this for, as long as Epic is with Fortnite. A couple years from now, we're still getting updates and new seasons.
I'm sure it'll be like that for a while.
Like a new season, they'll drop a couple new characters, new weapons. They'll do some map, changes to the map and, whatever. But yeah, really good. Really enjoy it.
I like Apex Legends. Haven't played it much. As you haven't released that Let's Play yet, have you?
No, we actually have a Let's Play coming out this Friday, the 18th, whatever.
I think it's the
18th or 19th of July, as of this recording. But yeah, we have about a 35-minute Let's Play where we just trade off the controller.
As you guys will see, I obviously haven't played that game that much. And,
but yeah, so that's
a lot of me asking questions on how to do stuff. Didn't do that great, but...
All right. Chase, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare.
Not much to say after what we've already said.
Yeah. All right. Sean, what about you? What's your number 7?
Left 4 Dead 2, which we already talked about. So...
All right.
They need to bring back Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Those were fun games.
They have... it's not Left 4 Dead, but it's basically Left 4 Dead without the name. It just came out. Not World War Z. Was it World War Z?
I don't know.
I'll have to look. I think it's World War.
I don't know if that. I didn't.
It's literally 4-player co-op. I don't know if it's. I think that might actually be third person instead of first. But
World War Z's third person.
There was a game. I saw a Let's Play of it not too long ago. Maybe like a month or two ago. But yeah, it's literally Left 4 Dead without the title.
Right.
It's just you have your squad. And yeah, you're going through different levels, trying to survive hordes, and
That reminds me of what was it? Was it Rainbow Six? That's coming out with like a zombie survival.
Yeah, Rainbow
thing.
Six Quarantine.
Yeah, it's like Rainbow Six mechanics, but you gotta like.
Yeah, so it's a little more grounded, and as far as it's not like
tactical,
an arcade shooter,
right.
But it's more tactical. But I'm
excited for that. That sounds cool. It sounds like a cool idea.
3-player squads, I think is what they said instead of 4. My number 7 is Perfect Dark. Again, I think we probably spent more time playing that than just about any other game on N64, with maybe
the exception of GoldenEye.
Well, there was a couple. Yeah, GoldenEye was definitely up there. A lot of the WWF games we played a ton of.
I loved those games.
Even like Mario Party, the first one or two.
I loved Mario Party.
Dude, we might have to do like a top 10 N64 games.
Right. We can do a whole bunch.
Even the Mario
Kart.
Well, Mario Tennis,
Mario
Golf.
Mario Golf.
Dude, we played a lot of those games. But anyway, so
Mom even played Mario Golf with us. I remember.
So Perfect Dark, again, it took everything that they did well with GoldenEye and made it better. There was more characters, more things happening on screen, more diverse maps, better, more weapons. It was at that point in the console's life cycle and all the competing platforms. I think that was definitely the pinnacle of shooters at that time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Borderlands 2.
Which is my number 6 also, so I'll
Okay.
just go ahead and say that.
All right, so
Borderlands 2. I'm a sucker for looter shooters.
I mean, I like looter shooters, but I grow bored of them really quickly. But for some reason, Borderlands 2, I don't know.
Well, it was just like a complete game and like a complete story and like a huge open world. Like when you say looter shooter nowadays,
I love
you think of like Destiny or something like that, where you kind of get it day one. It's kind of an incomplete experience because you're kind of waiting for like the DLC to drop or whatever. But yeah, Borderlands 2.
I love the Borderlands world.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What are they called? The enemies with the masks.
The little like minion munchkin guys.
No, like the
the
guys
crazy
on the cover.
dudes.
Yeah, they're hilarious games. They're really funny.
Yeah, they are. It is a funny game. It's got like a lot of humor. The world's like really super fleshed out and
a bunch of different guns and weapons.
Yeah, I like the cell shaded graphics. I don't know if like people remember.
They still hold up.
Yeah,
really well.
I don't know if people remember, but when it was first like Borderlands 1 was first like teased or whatever, it was like in a GamePro or something. The graphics they were trying to like do like really realistic graphics. They didn't go that like cell shaded route.
Right. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Now, was this the first one? Well, obviously the first Borderlands would have been the first one, but was this the first one that really did the looter shooter thing?
Yeah.
Was it?
I did it right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I remember that being a big deal. I think that was in the marketing. It was like,
How many bazillions?
Yeah,
of
there was
guns?
literally.
Yeah.
I think it was like
thousands of guns and stuff.
When really there's like 15 guns with
but with just variants.
with like
Different
millions of
variants.
different variations.
Right. My number 6 is Resistance 3. So this one is another Sony exclusive shooter series. It was
That's the World War II where aliens.
it started
right.
in World War II. The first one was in World War II. Yeah, so the first one, if you didn't know, it's basically what happens is the alien race called the Chimera, they landed, if I remember correctly, they landed in Soviet Russia between World War One and Two. I think I'm gonna say this wrong. Somebody's gonna correct me. I think that the Nazis found them and tried to like experiment on them and use them as soldiers. But anyway, so yeah, that was the first one. The second one kind of continues the story. My favorite is the third one. I didn't really play anything other than the campaign. I don't even remember if it had a multiplayer component. I think it did, actually.
Yeah.
But I remember it for the campaign just because it was kind of the conclusion to the story, but everything, it was very... The same reason why I liked Metroid Prime. It was very atmospheric. It was a slow, kind of methodical shooter in the sense, like, there would still be, like, firefights and gunfights and these big, wide open battles, but it leaned more into, like, the more subtle moments. It wasn't afraid to, like, take it slow and be easy and not have to, like, have one giant set piece after another. But between that and, like, the alternate history, alternate reality of this World War II, post-World War II world, was really cool. It reminds me, did you guys ever watch Fallen Skies? It was on TNT.
It was that alien.
Yeah, it's literally the same exact concept.
Yeah.
Aliens invade, and you're basically a resistance force trying to fight back.
Was that the J.J. Abrams?
I think it was executive produced by him or something. Yeah. But yeah, same exact thing. Great game. Without a doubt, definitely one of the best exclusives. More than Killzone. I wish that they would bring back Resistance or a reboot or something. That is well overdue in my opinion. All right, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Perfect Dark.
Okay.
pretty much for every reason that we've already discussed.
Right.
Good reasons.
So that's
Perfect Dark.
okay.
God, they do need to bring back Perfect Dark though.
Yeah, but
that
it
was
wasn't
like
good.
That was like a 360 launch title.
But is Perfect Dark does it really have the
cachet.
Yeah, does it have the name anymore? Like we would like it, but
if they anybody
that's younger than 25 probably has no idea what that game is.
Yeah, but if they made it good and presented it well, then I think it could.
I'm just thinking more along the lines of like Microsoft needs some like killer exclusives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
because
what was the good franchise?
What was the Perfect Dark on 360 that came out?
Perfect Dark Zero.
Was it Zero?
Zero, I think.
It might have been just Zero. But yeah, I mean, if they did it well,
right.
All right, what is your number 5?
Modern Warfare 2. Which did we already do that one?
Yeah, that was my number 9.
Okay, yeah, that's when I really started to get into like playing online, and
right.
I was really addicted to it.
No, my number 5 is BioShock. If you can't sense a theme here, I really like the atmospheric kind of slower moving first-person shooters. This one, the gameplay is fine. I mean, it's serviceable. I don't think it's anything special. The plasmids were what really tried to separate itself from more traditional shooters, is that you basically injected yourself with these different, basically different abilities where you could like shoot fire or ice or all kinds of different things. But why people really think this is one of the best games of all time, not just shooters.
The twist at the end?
The twist at the end, but just like even the opening.
Right.
You crash into the ocean, you find this giant, basically tower, the spire in the middle of the ocean. It's your only chance at safety, and slowly but surely over, a dozen hours or whatever, like you really start to understand what happened in this utopia gone wrong.
Yeah.
And it's it can be very actually scary in some parts.
It was a creepy game.
The first time you run into a Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And so
fuck those guys.
It was very very atmospheric. It was very just the plot, and again the twist. Everything just came together so well. It's a fantastic game. It still holds up now. I actually played it probably about a year ago. It's still just as good now, especially if you've never played it before. BioShock 2, it was not on my list. I thought that was a good game. People hate on it because it wasn't Irrational that developed it. It was like 2K Marin or something. It was like a secondary team. But BioShock Infinite. I almost put BioShock Infinite on the list. It barely missed the cut. Have you guys played that one?
No.
The way that game, you guys owe it to yourself. If you like the first one, you owe it to yourself to play. You can probably skip the second one, but you owe it to yourself to play Infinite and then wait till the end and see how it all ties together, because it'll blow your fucking mind. It's so good. But yeah, that's my number 5.
Quattro.
My number 4 is Halo 2. Halo 2, it just is a bigger, better Halo. It was the first game, actually. I think it was the first game that I remember.
Halo 2?
Yeah, it was the first game I remember playing online, against competitively.
Yeah, I think that was because that was when Xbox Live started to become a thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't even what is this? I can play with other people.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was really cool. And
I'm trying to remember what happens in the campaign for Halo 2. I can't really discern it. I remember Halo 3.
Yeah,
it's finished. It's finished.
I remember fighting on Earth.
Everybody got pissed because that's how the game ended. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's got to go back to Earth for a mission. And
I liked the ending.
It was
personally. And
then as he's I think jumping out of the plane or whatever, it cuts out.
Yeah, that was a cliffhanger.
But the main reason why is just for the multiplayer.
Yeah, it really
it was the first game I remember playing online a lot.
I think it was the first console game that had like kind of what we know now as like online multiplayer for shooters. I mean, it was the first game that was really that had Xbox Live in mind. It was the one that I remember. You guys remember was it the plasma sword?
Yeah,
the plasma sword,
the energy sword.
No,
you could like
sword,
ride around on like the wraiths and like the different vehicles, and you could like rip turrets off and shoot people. It was just like it was so crazy. That they were doing that stuff back then.
And the campaign was just even more cinematic and grand than the first one.
Right.
Like I remember it was one of the earlier missions where you're on Earth and then it has like that the giant like walking giant tank or something that you have to like jump onto and then go inside and then destroy that.
The big purple thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called either.
Like 6 legs or something.
Right. I do remember that. Yeah. Great game. I really am excited for what Halo Infinite is all about. Hopefully, I haven't really played a Halo since 3.
I've played the Halos, but I don't really play them online anymore. I've been playing them for the campaign more than anything. So, just because Master Chief is such an iconic character in gaming now.
I hope this new one is good. Like, great. What about you? What's your number 4?
4? BioShock.
Really? Mm-hmm. I am shocked. I didn't think anybody would have that on there.
Yeah, BioShock for all the same reasons, and then some. Remember they made such a big deal out of like the water, like physics.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were like all that cool. Like,
it was fine.
I remember like playing it, and I was like, okay,
because everybody
thinks water.
I think that's just water. I think anytime there's a new game or new console or a new like engine. They always use
what we can do.
It's always like, oh, look at these waters. Look at the water. Look how it responds.
Speaking of Halo, remember how good Halo's water looked? Like you guys would like float in the water and shit. That was cool.
I remember the first Halo. It was one of like the early missions. You're on a beach, and I remember driving the Warthog all the way out into the ocean to like hit like a game wall.
I think everybody did that. Tried to. Yeah. So 4 is BioShock. Good game.
My number 4 is Halo 2 for all of those reasons that we just said, so I won't bore you guys with the details. But
in case you didn't realize, we all grew up in the same house.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of overlap for sure. All right, Chase, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Which is my number 3 also.
It was just like the first multiplayer, like couch co-op multiplayer shooter that I remember playing.
That was even like good. I know, like, was Quake out before then?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we weren't like PC guys.
Yeah,
that was like a PC thing.
We really didn't have a PC.
I remember all of us just spending countless hours playing that game. Yeah. Learning the ins and outs of every map, even like secret walls that you can go through.
And there's always that one asshole who had to be Oddjob.
Yeah, he really did. He broke the game. He really broke the game.
And they had a bunch of different game modes like paintball.
I remember paintball.
You had the laser gun, the golden gun. There was big heads.
Was it was it rockets only? Did we do?
There was like rockets only.
I remember all of that.
And like he had like the laser gun and then the golden gun.
Iconic maps to multiplayer.
I remember the pyramid. The pyramid map. I think it was like Complex.
Yeah.
And then you had like the one map where you could go into the bathroom and up into the vents.
I remember that one.
The silos and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great game. All right, what's your number 3?
Same thing.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right, my number 3, no shock, it is Modern Warfare 2. For those very reasons that we discussed earlier. So I won't bore you guys with the details.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is Overwatch.
What? Fucking nerd.
What? Overwatch
is. You gotta be a nerd to play
Overwatch is such a great game. I've spent, I don't know, for about like when it first came out for a solid like 6 to 8 months. That's all I played all day.
I tried to play it.
It was so much fun.
I couldn't get into it.
Just the different abilities. I love how they're all like objective. Objective based game modes and no like team deathmatch, and so
it's just like
it really requires you to like pick characters to be balanced, to have a balanced team, and Oh, it's just a fun game.
Yeah.
It really is. It's so addicting.
Yeah, I dig hero shooters.
All right, what's your number 2?
Halo 2.
Halo 2.
Yep.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right. My number 2. You guys will never guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Far Cry 3.
I thought about putting Far Cry on the list. 'cause
Far
that was
Cry
really
3.
good.
I
This
never really
is-
played that many Far Cry
So
games.
this one was the one that was set on a tropical island.
Is that the one that had the crazy antagonist guy?
Yes, he was the first. Voss.
Yeah.
Was
I
his
call him
name?
Van.
Yeah,
I knew it was
Voss.
a D.
That game was just fantastic. I mean, that was the first game that I remember playing, a Ubisoft game, where it was what you now think of when you think of a Ubisoft game, where you have this map
Right.
and all of these different things to do, and you just kind of check the boxes and check off the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were hideouts to, or like encampments to overtake.
Yeah, it had like a really addicting loop.
Yeah.
Of like going and getting a camp and then
Yeah.
going to the next one.
Yeah, and so, yeah.
upgrading and all that kind
Exactly,
of good
and
stuff.
then you could hunt animals and skin them for different upgrades for your backpack and your wallet. The story was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about, but yeah, the gameplay loop is what kept you coming back. It was
It looked really good.
a fantastic game. It really was. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just such a really, really, really good game. I tried playing 4, couldn't really get into that one. I didn't play any of the more recent ones. The one that was
Primal? Is
yeah,
that
I
what
didn't
you're
play
talking about?
Primal. Didn't really appeal to me. And then I did want to play the newest one that just came out, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Is that the one where that takes place in like Arkansas? Is that what we're talking
Montana
about? Or
or
Montana?
something.
Yeah, it
something
was.
like that? In like the backwoods.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but that one I wanted to play. But yeah, I haven't got around to it. But Far Cry 3 is something special. That was a fantastic game.
Numero.
And my number 1, probably come as a shocker to a bunch of people, is Call of Duty Black Ops.
Really?
Yes. Just because overall, I dig the campaign.
Setting
And-
was cool.
Yeah, I like the Cold War
Yeah.
setting.
I wish they would go back
had,
to something like that.
As a whole, it had like my favorite maps out of any Call of Duty. Now, there are maps from other Call of Duties I like more, but as a whole, all the maps.
That's where like firing range and
Fi-
slums and all
No,
those.
Slums was Black
Black-
Ops 2.
Okay, firing range.
It's Jungle. And
Jungle.
And then, although I don't like Jungle and Black Ops 4, just because the spawns are really messed up. and-
Every map is
But-
spawn messed up in Black Ops 4.
But, and it had one of my favorite guns of all time, the Commando.
Which one was Commando?
It was the final gun you unlocked. I think it was
Oh,
level
yeah.
55.
It was just like buttery.
It was 55
Yeah.
or 54 is like the last gun
There's
you
no
unlocked.
recoil. on
Yeah,
that thing.
and it was the first that's what really got me into playing Call of Duties all the time, because I played them every now and then before Black Ops, but Black Ops is like what got me into looking forward to Call of Duty and playing them all the time and playing them when I don't have anything else to play.
Right.
And it was the first Call of Duty that I was good at. The other ones I was terrible. I had like a below a 1.0 KDR. So yeah, that's what. Just fond memories. That's what
Right.
really got me into it. It's just probably being good at it is why
Yeah.
is why it's so high on my
That
list.
always helps.
All right, what's your number 1?
Number 1 is Half-Life 2,
All right.
which is by far the best first-person shooter game I've ever played. I think the first time I ever played it I think I beat it in like 2 days. There's something about that game. It was a combination of like the kind of the setting and the atmosphere. There's like a lot of physics-based
That's what I
environmental
remember.
puzzles.
That's what I remember most when it first came out, and like the gameplay demos that were
Yeah.
released.
Just like blew my mind.
Yeah, like
when
you
it
could-
came out.
Yeah, I remember one specific demo or clip where, yeah, you had like the not a chainsaw. What's it like the buzzsaw? And I think it was
Or are you
Or it
talking
was
the
the
gravity
grab
gun,
gun, the
and it
grab
had
gun,
like
yeah.
the circular
yeah,
saw
he,
things?
yeah, he picked up the circular
Yeah.
saw blade, and then he cut a rope that of like a beam, and the beam swung and like hit a dumpster and knocked something. Like now that's like commonplace, but then it really was. Yeah, there was something special.
Yeah, I love like the physics based stuff, like how they did for Portal and Portal 2 also.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have included those if there was any shooting mechanic at all, because I love the Portal games. I love anything with like puzzles where you have to use your brain. But
yeah, Half-Life 2 is just addicting, man.
Do you think you'll get Half-Life 3 in your lifetime?
No. I gave up hope
at this time ago. I think they're better just leaving it dead.
I mean, what's going to come out first? George R. Martin's next book or Half-Life 3?
God.
We're both going to take them to the grave.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way that I don't want to say the only way. Obviously,
that's just
smart people.
Doing the story such a disservice not to finish it.
Right. What I would hope that they do is they just shadow drop it. Like one day they just open up Steam and it's there, and then the story just goes viral.
That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? They announce it one day, you wake up the next morning and it's just.
I feel like they've dug themselves into such a big hole that they don't know how to wrap it up, and like anything they do will just be like a disappointment. So they're not doing it, and they're just focusing on Steam.
Yeah, Steam makes them freaking buku amounts of money.
All right, so that's our top 10. I'm putting the numbers together. You guys feel
You didn't say yours.
Oh, my number 1 is GoldenEye. For everything that we've already talked about, it's the game that I'm pretty sure we probably spent more time playing than anything else.
Yeah.
Staying up late, playing all night, discovering all the secret rooms, discovering the best weapons, playing through the campaign to unlock all of the like special modes in multiplayer. Like,
one thing I forgot to mention was my favorite weapon in GoldenEye were the proximity mines.
Proximity mines were great.
You just set them up all over the place and just wait for somebody to run by them, and then instant kill.
Right.
Those were the best. And I can't remember the name of the map, but it took place in like caves.
Oh yeah, and there was like a little tunnel that had
then,
like a black wall.
Yeah, and then
you could throw it on there and it was invisible.
The proximity mines were cheap.
It was stuff like that where you just, after playing it for so long, you just knew all of the little ins and outs, and it was just a matter of who got to you first.
There was a lot of good guns. Like the AK in that game was really good. Remember the Klob? That game was
the Klob
was terrible. I don't even know what that thing was.
Let's see.
So that was top 10.
All right, guys. I'm putting together the list, so you guys fill some time here.
Yeah.
An honorable mention.
Yeah, I was going to say, any honorable mentions?
Was Turok for the N64.
I was going to say Turok.
Almost made the list. I love that game. Scared me a little bit, but I still love it.
Yeah, dinosaurs are scary, man. There was one game that I was thinking of while we were doing the list that would have been on my honorable mentions, but I can't think of it now. And it...
Know a game I didn't play all that much, but I liked it, and I feel like if I played it now, I'd like it even more, was Unreal Tournament. It was launch title for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament.
We got it with the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
we got like that and Tekken Tag Tournament, and like maybe it was just those two games when we bought our PlayStation 2, but I liked Unreal Tournament.
There's an honorable mention for me would be Battlefield 4 after they patched out all the bugs and stuff when it first launched.
I liked Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1.
Yeah, I like Battlefield 1. I haven't played the new one yet. Just got too many games to play. But
but I prefer like the Twitch of Call of Duty to Battlefield anyways.
Yeah. But it's a good change of pace if you're like a Battlefield player to play some Call of Duty, or the other way around. Halo Infinite, I can't wait for that game.
Yeah.
I kind of hope...
I'm excited for it. Even if just for the campaign, I'll get it. But
I
feel like they're going to be doing big things with the multiplayer also.
I hope so. I hope they bring back some like really classic maps. Like, remember
Bloody Gulch?
Blood Gulch, yeah, dude.
And they brought it back in, was it Halo 2 or 3 or both? And they just changed the name.
It was definitely in the first two Halos. I don't remember if it was in the third one. I'm trying to... No, I don't think so.
Of all the non-numbered Halo games, my favorite one was Halo Reach.
Dude, Halo Reach was...
I love the story and the ending where you're still on Reach and you're
just
protecting...
Spoiler.
You're protecting the envoy.
Right. And they had actually Halo Reach was the first one that they had a horde mode in Halo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved Halo Reach.
All
I
right.
didn't really care for
Best
ODST.
Best Halo gun.
I mean, best gun is probably Halo's pistol. The
original Halo's pistol. That thing was OP.
Yeah.
That was overpowered.
But I'm always a sucker for the shotgun where you just
shotgun and melee real quick.
Shotgun melee and then instant death after that.
All right, guys, we've got our top 10 list. Of course, there are a couple ties in there. So tied at the bottom of the list are Overwatch and Far Cry for 10 and 9. And then for 8, 7, and 6, we have a 3-way tie for Borderlands, Half-Life 2, and the original Black Ops. Call of Duty Black Ops. Number 5, we have Perfect Dark. Number 4, BioShock. Number 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Number 2 is Halo 2. And the number 1 first-person shooter of all time by the Save Point Vids podcast crew, GoldenEye.
Yay!
That is it.
That's a number 1 that I don't think anybody could really argue with.
No.
And if you do, I mean, it's whatever. But
If you do, you're too young to have enjoyed it.
Right.
That, so let us know what you guys think. Leave me a comment, tweet at me.
Yeah, let us know what your top 10s are.
Let us know, what yours are, and then we'll tell you how wrong you are.
Exactly.
Or how right.
I mean, unless it's GoldenEye at the top.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, so let's switch gears and
everybody let him know how great Overwatch is.
yeah, I don't know about all that.
It's such a fun game.
All right, guys, we're going to end it with a new tradition with some trivia.
You have an extra pen?
All right, you guys fill time. I'm going to grab a pen. Should have been more prepared. Actually, just type it in your phone.
Okay.
Just type it into your phone, and then.
In case you guys don't remember, I actually won easily by
So-
landslide last trivia.
So Sean is up. He
You
is
didn't know Mario's original name.
he is the current reigning champion
does.
for Save
I
Point
did.
Trivia.
You didn't know Lil Mac's name, all right?
I said what? I say Little Chief.
All right,
Whatever.
so Sean, since you won last week, I'm still ironing out the details, but there are 3 tiers. Tier 3 is the hardest.
Is this
worth 3 points.
FPS trivia?
All FPS trivia. So it's basically like Jeopardy. You can go straight for the tier 3 for the most points.
Is that like 3 points?
Yep.
1, 2, and 3?
Yep.
All right.
And then each tier only has 3 questions. And then there are 2 final questions after those 9 have been.
Like Final Jeopardy?
Yeah, basically where
Right.
you can wager your accumulated points and try to get out on top. All right, since you won, you're first. What is your?
I'll go with the easy one at number 1.
All right, tier
1
1
point.
worth 1 point. You guys have 10 seconds. What is the name of your AI companion in the original Halo game?
Why am I? Okay, God. Talk about Halo. People are like, you don't play Halo, man. You don't know that.
I don't know. It's only like Master Chief's love of his life.
All right. The answer is Cortana. Cortana. All right, so you both get 1 point. Chase, I want you to keep track. All right. You, Chase, get your pick.
I'll do an easy one.
I kept thinking of Siri for some reason.
What is the name
Just for 2 points?
1.
1 point. Of the first-person shooter? What is the name of the first-person shooter? 10 seconds.
I got it. If you can read backwards.
All right, what do you guys got?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein 3D.
Wolfenstein 3D is correct.
I didn't.
Yeah, Chase.
Fine,
not
whatever.
Wolfenstein 2D.
Fine, whatever.
Or 4D.
All right. Your pick.
Let's go 3. Hard one.
Oh, okay.
I got Jude out of the point.
According to Statista.com, this is the worst selling Call of Duty since 2007, When the original Modern Warfare was released, what is the name of the worst-selling Call of Duty released since 2007 when Modern Warfare originally came out?
I'm just taking a guess.
You ready?
Yeah.
I put Advanced Warfare.
I put Infinite Warfare.
It's one of those.
Infinite Warfare is correct. Chase with 3 points.
I should have done that.
All right, Chase, your pick.
We'll do a medium one.
You wanna do
You said
a-
there's three for each here.
Yeah. So there's.
No, we'll clean up the first.
You want
tier.
the easy one? All right. So
Yeah.
the last easy question: Gordon Freeman is the hero of which famous FPS series? Gordon Freeman is the hero of which famous FPS series?
He's the free man.
Free man.
I'm assuming you guys will both get a point.
All right.
Half-Life.
Yes. All right. Sean, your pick.
Let's go 2. We'll tie it up here.
She wish.
Actually, now that I'm reading these back, these are pretty easy, but I don't have anything else, so we'll deal with it. When Modern Warfare 2 originally released, this level was controversial because you could choose to shoot innocent civilians in an airport.
Do you know? I'll have to know like the actual name of the mission. Or
Oh,
the-
I do.
What is the name of the mission/level?
I can give you the map that's based off of the level. Does that count?
Nope. What is the name of the mission/level?
Fuck, we just talked about it earlier. Didn't we name the name earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Dumb.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm blanking on the mission name.
The answer is no Russian. No Russian.
I did
There's
not
no
get
Left
that one.
Behind at the end?
I saw it.
Hey,
I saw it as
you didn't give me the
I'm pretty sure it's
Wolfenstein.
called-
You didn't give me the Wolfenstein
I'm
3D
pretty sure it's
point.
called No Russian Left Behind.
All
Because
right,
it's
let
no
me-
Russian. That's not even a full
Judge.
sentence.
Judge.
Hold on.
I didn't get point for Wolfenstein.
I'm only saying no Russian.
Oh, Jesus. All right, damn technicality.
Yeah, you know how I felt.
Yeah.
I think he says no
According
Russian Left Behind.
according to Wikipedia, quote unquote, no Russian is a controversial level in the 2009 first-person shooter.
Watches.
So no point there.
All right.
All right, Chase, you're up. There are 2 level 2s and
Let's do a 3.
2 level 3s. All right.
For the lead.
That's what you said last time.
Which developer created the PlayStation exclusive series
I already know it.
with the last entry in that series being Shadowfall?
I have no
Which
clue.
developer created the PlayStation exclusive series with the last entry in that series being Shadowfall?
Oh,
I have no clue. I'm not good with developer names.
5, 4,
I got nothing. I
3,
think Sean has an answer.
2. What is it?
Guerrilla Games.
Guerrilla Games is correct for 3 points.
I was like Shadowfall, and I realized it was a Killzone Shadowfall.
All right, there is 2 level 2s and 1 level 3 left.
Go 3, man. Go big.
I don't think this one is actually that hard. Like I
see.
said, now that I think about
See,
it.
the no Russian one threw me for a loop.
The
I'm not good
Vancouver
with
Titans, San Francisco Shock, and Shanghai Dragons, among others, play which FPS game professionally?
I don't even know who the hell those people are.
It's obviously something international.
The Vancouver Titans, San Francisco Shock, and Shanghai Dragons, among other teams, play which FPS game professionally?
I'm taking a guess here.
Yeah, me too.
You got an answer?
Yeah.
I put Counter-Strike Go.
Yeah, me too. CSGO.
The answer is Overwatch.
Damn
I should have
it!
known Shanghai. They love their anime characters. Damn it. What a rookie mistake.
All right, so that was tougher than I thought. I thought you guys were going to get that one.
No.
No.
All right, and then the last question. No, I'm sorry. There are 2 level tier questions. So pick number 1 or 2.
2.
All right. The original studio that created the Halo franchise went on to create which multi-platform FPS? The original studio that created the Halo franchise went on to create which multi-platform FPS?
I got my answer.
I got an answer.
All right, what do you guys got?
Destiny.
Yeah, I put Destiny.
Destiny is correct. You both get 2 points.
Damn you, Chase.
All right, and to clean up, tier 2 for 2 points. This one is very easy. This should have been a tier 1. I'm just going to tell you now. What pair of games did Rare develop on the N64?
I don't even have to write it.
Yeah.
All right, GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. You both get 2 points.
So.
All right, so who's leading?
Sean by 1.
All right, so there are 2 questions for basically Final Jeopardy. Since you're in the lead, I will give you the option of picking either question number 1 or number 2 for Final Jeopardy.
I guess question number 1. And I'm going to wager 1 point.
I'm assuming you're going to wager, what, 3, 2?
I'll just wager them all because I mean.
Okay. All right.
Well, then I'll wager them all.
Good. Go big or you're Mr. Go big or go home.
All right, just say number 1 or number 2.
All right. 1.
All right. In the N64 version of Perfect Dark, what hidden collectible item appears in every level? When all were collected, it was meant to activate an ultimate cheat code that was eventually scrapped in the final version.
What was the secret item?
In the N64 version of Perfect Dark, what hidden collectible item appears in every single level? When all of these were collected,
Dude, I did this too.
Oh yeah.
it was meant to activate an ultimate
It's
cheat
so
code
long ago since I played, I can't remember.
that was
though.
eventually scrapped in the final version.
All I can think of are the skulls from Halo.
Man,
I can't even fathom a guess. I need to put a guess. It's Final Jeopardy. Better not be looking shit up over there on your phone.
nah. I got an answer.
I mean, I'll put down a guess. It's completely wrong.
All right.
I put like some kind of like hard disk or hard
I'll
drives
put
or
a laptop.
something.
So, in the N64
I swear,
version
I was gonna put orbs. Are they some kind of orbs?
of Perfect Dark, what hidden collectible item appears in every single level? When all of these were collected, it was meant to activate an ultimate cheat code, but that was eventually scrapped in the final version. The answer
Was it that little alien you had to escort around?
is
No, that was the
cheese.
final one.
cheese.
Cheese.
Oh, it was cheese.
Yeah, they were blocks of cheese.
I remember now.
Son of a.
It's a draw. We both have 0 points.
Man. All right.
Well, let's do the other question.
Yeah, let's do the other
Okay.
question and then we'll see.
All right, fine. Technicality. I'm still working out the details, so. Famous movie composer Hans Zimmer composed the soundtrack to this blockbuster game in 2009. It was his first time composing for a video game.
2009.
What is the game? Hans Zimmer, the famous movie composer, composed the soundtrack to this blockbuster game in 2009.
I have a guess.
It was his first time composing for a video game. What is it?
I think this came out around that time.
I can't remember. I'm bad with dates.
I got Uncharted 2.
That's not a first-person shooter.
All right. Well,
Modern Warfare 3.
The answer is Modern Warfare 2.
Damn it! Damn it! I was almost put 2 because I was like,
I think I was closer.
because I was like 2007 was Modern Warfare, 2008 was 2008 was World at War, and then 2009 was
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was closer. At least like, it's the first person.
I might have to give it to him just because it
I
was
had a 2 in mine.
it was a first-person shooter.
Still.
Oh, jeez. All right. We'll figure out the winner. I'll let you guys know.
Fight.
Next
Fight
week,
for it.
well, let's figure out. We don't really have a plan for next week. What next week do we want to... We can do a genre. We can do
Top 10
top
consoles.
10 games, top 10 consoles. We can do... I saw
franchises.
top 10 franchises. Ooh, that should be a fun one.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Okay, let's do that. So next week, so this is, again, our personal top 10 franchises.
What would constitute a franchise?
I would
games?
say minimum 2 games.
Okay.
So at least 2 games. Obviously, depending on
I was thinking like at least 3.
3 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just saying.
Fair enough. All right. 3 games.
Because
So-
it's just it's just a game and a sequel at that point.
That's fair. Okay, so top 10 franchises, at least 3 games is the qualifier. That'll be going up next Wednesday. This video will be going up tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Or is it daylight time right now? I can never remember. Eastern.
I'm not a
Day-
hedgehog. Or a groundhog.
Okay. Anyway. It'll go up tomorrow at 12 Eastern Standard Time. Check it out, youtube.com/Save Point Vids. Again, follow us, tell a friend, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate and love the support always. Until next time, you guys.